Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today's a huge day for the Anne Arundel County Police Department and thus for the region, because this endeavor that we're starting today isn't going to be for the benefit of solely the people of Anne Arundel County. In Maryland, we've talked a lot about how regionalization greatly improves our efforts at keeping folks safe. We've talked about synergies, and what we're starting here today is going to be one of the premier training facilities in the region. I'd like to thank folks for coming today. We have several of our Police Community Relations Council and Chiefs Advisory members that are here. They've been tireless in advocating for this to start today. I'd like to thank all of our elected officials that we have here today. Obviously, my boss, Mr. Hsu, for making this priority one, day one of his administration. Newly elected Mayor Gavin Buckley, whose cops are going to benefit from this as a part of our regional efforts. We train many of his entry-level officers, so this is going to be a great addition for the people of Annapolis. I have Delegate Tony McConkey here, who has advocated tirelessly for improvements to the public safety infrastructure in this county. Gentlemen, we thank you all. Chris Phipps, the Director of our Public Works, is here, who has had to make the nuts and bolts come together to start today. And I just want to close in this welcoming by saying, those of you standing in the back, today's not just about me up here. The Anne Arundel County Police Department has had a storied past with this facility. You'll hear that it started in 1976, but what we got was a hand-me-down Nike missile site that the federal government didn't have any use for, and we've made do with it for 40 years. It's going to be a great addition to our efforts at keeping people safe here. We are going to train future generations for probably 100 years, and oh Lord, am I excited. So thank you for coming out. So shall we turn it over to Chris Phipps?
Thank you, Chief. Yes. Good afternoon. My name is Chris Phipps. I'm the Director of Public Works for Anne Arundel County, and I couldn't be prouder today being here. And a little background, I've been with the county for a couple decades now, and the idea and the concept of improving this facility has always been in the minds of the professionals in the police department. And when I would come out here, I always felt for them, because it's somewhat of a travesty that we have a first-rate police department that is fitting of a first-rate training facility, yet they've had to make do with what they have here. And it's been nothing but a piecemeal operation of adding this and deleting that and deconstructing this, and let's add a little here. Now we're finally at a point, through County Executive Hsu's leadership, where we can actually take this on one whole bite at a time and deliver what I believe is going to be a first-class training facility. And we have some of the renderings over here to your right. And, you know, ideally what we're going to be providing is a 30,000 square foot administrative building that's going to have multiple offices, multi-purpose room, conference room, classrooms. Then that's going to be mated with a 17,000 square foot fitness facility that's going to equip it with weight room, lockers for both recruits and staff. And that's another thing. You always felt for our police department that when they had to host events and they had to bring recruits from outside, and quite frankly, it had to be embarrassing to bring them through this facility as it currently is. I think this will be a facility they'll be very proud of. The fitness facility is also going to have a firearms training simulator and a driving simulator. So these are kind of, you know, the idea of using technology to become more efficient and hopefully be able to train, be more efficient and effective in our training operations and techniques. And there is going to be a phase 2 to this project where we're going to actually retrofit the existing admin building into a scenario simulation training facility. So this is going to be a state-of-the-art facility. I think that you know, Anne Arundel County would be very proud of, the region will be very proud of, and I will certainly be proud of. Final comment is, it all takes teamwork. I mean, and there's, you know, no better example of teamwork than our police force. But we have to team with them to deliver projects like this. And there were many members part of this team that I would like to just quickly reference. Our project manager in Public Works, Joe Hollebeck, who had to work very closely with Henry Farrell, the steady hand of Henry Farrell, and I don't know if Henry's here from the police department, but he was very instrumental in seeing us through. The architect is Gant Burnett. Civil site design, which there will be a lot of when we transform this site with all the stormwater management and parking facilities, and there will be a quarter-mile track to go with it. That was all designed by Boyd and DeGallo, and the construction manager is DFI, and finally, probably even most important now, is our contractors, is Towson Mechanical Incorporated. And we issued notice to proceed. They're starting the paperwork and the mobilization as of November 22nd, and the contract calls for the completion of the facility, the entire campus, by February of 2019. But we'll see a lot of progress between now and then, I'm sure. So with that, I'd like to introduce our County Executive, Steve Shue.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here on this beautiful and brisk Anne Arundel County Day. And I want to begin by thanking Chief Altameri for his leadership of our police department. Today would not have happened without his advocacy for our first responders. And speaking of our first responders, I want to take the opportunity to thank all of our men and women in blue, both county and city, who work so hard each and every day to protect our families and our properties. I also want to thank Chris Phipps and our great team at the Department of Public Works for all of their efforts. They have so many balls in the air, so many projects that they're juggling over the course of the year. It's amazing how much they get accomplished, and I know they'll bring this one in on time and on budget, right? That's the plan. And I want to especially thank Mayor Gavin Buckley and Delegate Tony McConkey for being with us here today. And after I conclude my remarks, I'm going to ask each of them to please take the podium and share a few thoughts with us as well. When our administration came into office 3 years ago, one of our first priorities was to initiate this project and to address the deplorable condition of our police academy. As Chris Phipps said, a first-class police department deserves a first-class police academy and training center, and that's exactly what this is going to be. This is going to be world-class. Today, that commitment becomes a reality. We're going to break ground in just a minute on an $18.8 million project that will create the finest training center, the finest academy in the state of Maryland, and will train the next generation of law enforcement officers, not only here in our county and our great city of Annapolis, but throughout the entire region here in central Maryland. This academy is part of the largest infrastructure improvement effort ever undertaken in Anne Arundel County. That effort also includes a new central booking facility for which we will break ground in the spring, 4 new fire stations, and well over 300 new police vehicles that have been purchased over the last 3 years to bring the average age of our fleet down to 3 years. Anne Arundel County is the safest large jurisdiction in Maryland. It is one of the safest large jurisdictions in the country, and projects like this will assure that it stays that way. I look forward to the future of this academy as it trains the next generation of our first responders. So thank you, and thanks for being here, and God bless. Next, Mayor Buckley and Delegate McConkey.
How you all doing? This is my second day on the job. So I found out about this about an hour and a half ago, but I wanted to come out here and tell you how much the city of Annapolis appreciates what you do and how much we believe that you deserve a facility like this. And so I'm here to say we appreciate every cadet that comes through here and is trained in this facility. And we appreciate what you put up to at this point. Because right now it looks like Police Academy 13 was filmed here. So you deserve more. You deserve a world-class facility. This looks amazing. I can't wait to see it when it's constructed. And thank you.
I can tell you the General Assembly has talked excitedly over the last several years about all the money they're going to save because crime's going down. But the only way we can hope to continue that trend is if we keep investing in law enforcement. And I commend the county executive on his leadership on getting this job, getting this project completed, get it built and completed. And I think that it's important that we have high level of readiness, because we never know what the unexpected may bring. The opioid crisis, other challenges in the future. It's important that we maintain the highest investment in law enforcement, and thank you so much.
What do you want to do, 3 count?
Yes.
All right. So 3 count, throw all the dirt at Susan.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
The timing was a little off.
That's groundbreaking.
Can we do a smile one? Everybody look here.